My name is Aina Zeka Muataza.
And my name is Roberta Karawani. Today we want to present about what we had learned before about law. Let's start it. Law has various meanings depending on the context in which it is used. Legal system context. A system of rule created and enforced by government or other authorities to regulate behavior within a society. For example, they had criminal law and civil law. Number two, we had rule of statute. Rule of statute, a specific piece of legislation passed by a governing body. For example, they had traffic law, anti-discrimination law. Number three, we had scientific context. A statement describing consistent natural phenomena, often expressed mathematically based on repeated observation. For example, they had Newton's law of motions and the law of conservation of energy. Number four, we had moral or religion or religious code, a set of moral principles or commandments that guide behavior. For example, they had the Ten Commandments in Christianity and Sharia law in Islam. Number five, we had natural law. Principle belief to govern human behavior based on nature and reason, often viewed as universal and unchanging. For example, they had the idea of inherent human rights. Number six, we had common and unwritten norms, informal rules or customs that govern society behavior. Number seven, we had academic discipline, the study of legal system, principle, and applications. Example, they have students studying law at a new university. Number eight, we had the last one, we had sport and games, the set of rule governing a particular sport or activity. That's all for what is law.
What is function of law? The function of law are fundamental to maintaining order, resolving conflict, and promoting justice in society. Number one, maintaining order and stability, which is to establish rules that regulate behavior, ensuring predictability and security. Next, resolving disputes, disputes, which is to provide an structured process for addressing and resolving conflict. And number three, protecting rights and liberties, which to safeguard individual freedom and rights, ensuring equality and justice. Next, establishing standard of behavior, which to define acceptable and unacceptable action in society. Next, facilitating social change, which is to guide society evolution by responding to changing values and needs. And number seven, protecting the public interest, which to balance individual freedom with the community well-being.
Here we had classification of law. Classification of law refers to organizing laws into categories based on their nature, purpose, and scope. Here at the primary classification, we had public law and private law, which is governs the relationship between individuals and the state or between institution of the state. Branch, we had constitutional law, deals with the structure of the government and fundamental rights. As- Next, we is administrative law, regulates the operation of government granaries. agencies. Next, we had criminal law. There will deals with crimes and punishment. For private law, the definition governs the relationship between individual or private entities. For branch, they had contract law regulates agreements and enforceable promise. Next, we had tort law addresses civil wrongs causing harm. Lastly, we had family law covers marriage, divorce, child custody, and the rest. Number two, we had substantive law versus procedural law. For substantive law, defines rights, duties, and obligations of individuals. Procedural law, we had provide the process and method to enforcing substantive law. Number three, we had national law versus international law. For national law, national domestic law, laws that apply within a particular country. For international law, they had governed relationship between nation and international entities. Four, we had civil law and criminal law. For civil law, address dispute between individual or organization, purpose, compensation, or restitution. For criminal law, they had deals with crimes and punishment, purpose to maintain public order and safety. Five, common law and statutory law. For common law, they had law derived from judicial precedents rather than statutes. For statutory law, they had written law enacted by legislative bodies. General law, number six, we had general law versus special law. General law applies uniformly to everyone in jurisdiction. For special law, they had applies to specific groups or area. Lastly, we had flexible law and rigid law. For flexible law, there are laws discretion in this application. For rigid law, they have strictly defined with the literal form for interpretation. Overall, what we had learned, law is the constant of any organized society guiding individual behavior, resolving conflicts, and ensuring social stability. It reflects social values, promotes justice, and facilitates economic and social development. Understanding the meanings, function, and classification of law is crucial to appreciating its role in maintaining order and lines. Last, our conclusion: law is an essential institution that underpins the functioning of society. By defining acceptable behavior, protecting rights, and resolving disputes, it fosters justice and stability. It deserves meanings, functions, and classification is illustrate its adaptability to the complexities of human instructions. A robust legal system not only enforces rules but also reflects social values, enabling progress and harmony. That's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we will put some notes that we had learned, what we had studied before.
Bye.
Bye.
See you again.
Audio Jungle.